All right, well, I was sort of hoping that the 7-second rule applies or something, and you just question it. Welcome back to another night, another drive, another evening, another rant. Yet another guy talking to himself and hoping the internet's listening. Something. What's on my mind tonight? It's really hard to say, honestly. Lots of traffic. Something Ayn Rand. Something feminism. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's like nothing new. Nothing unique and interesting. The world continued on unabated. Which I feel like it sounds like an Adams quote, right? Much to the consternation, the world continued unabated. It seems very Adamsian. Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I think in some circles on the internet, it's sort of assumed that everyone you talk to is familiar with the Hitchhiker's Guide. But that's not really the case. You know, I have lots of people. I know several people who aren't, and I know people who are definitely not familiar enough with it to recognize an offhand, probably not actual reference like that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can I do one more? I can. Thank you very much. Woo! Nope, no scratch. People are watching. My desk sits right next to a conference room. And like all good conference rooms, it is sort of fishbowl-y. And then there's a giant glass wall on one side. The side that's right next to my desk. So whenever there's people in the conference rooms, I get really self-conscious about people watching me at my desk, do whatever it is I do, which was awkward. It's always awkward. Today, I started my morning with like installs and scans, and the sort of things that take a very long time. So I was just sort of staring at a scan, and nothing was happening. Which was odd. And I was like, are they over there judging me? Do they see that I'm not really doing anything? Should I be doing something else at the same time? Is that overextending myself? Am I going to make a mess? I don't know. It's crazy. And then my night was crazy because everything was like, well, let's just have you do everything all at the end of the day. And then people kept calling, and they're like, is this done yet? I'm like, well, if you stop calling me, then it would be done. Maybe. But it's not done yet because people keep calling me. It's the worst. I should go back and check. Someone asked once, actually, how many calls would you say you take a day that interrupt your process flow? Because biggest deal for me. I said, I don't know, maybe a dozen on a really busy day. I feel like I don't take that many calls anymore, but maybe I do. Maybe I'll look back and it'll be like, oh, it's actually like 25 calls over an 8-hour period, and if I look at the spread of them, oh, look, most of them happened between 2 and 5. What do you know about that? I should do that. I think I can pull logs off of my phone. I mean, if nothing else, I can manually copy them from the call logs. That's not that hard. So, see how that goes. Do that. I'm the kind of person who enjoys getting statistics, but I don't really do much with them. I enjoyed statistics every time I took the class, and I've taken it a couple of times. there was AP statistics in high school, and then I took the applied statistics course at university, and then I took the statistics for engineers course at university. So I've taken a couple of times intro to basic statistics, which is hypothesis testing and sampling theory and central limit theorem, again and again, how a normal distribution works, how to calculate standard deviations. I've done it a few times, and I really enjoy the process of collecting large quantities of data, piling it all into something smells like gasoline or oil. Yeah, it's a very petroleum smell. Popcorn. I'm getting popcorn tonight. I'm gonna buy popcorn and make some. I could do a video about that. I could do a make popcorn and then I'll apply some yarn. We'll talk about stuff while I do that, especially if nobody's home for the next half hour or so. As I've stated, it's pretty awkward when there's people in there. And actually, I was talking with my roommate who also wants to get into video making. He was like, yeah, looking at it, and I have a couple hours, before you get home, and when it's just me, and I don't have anybody else around, because, no offense, but I really don't want to do a video when you're in the room. I don't blame you. I feel the same way. It's really awkward. It's super bizarre. People joke about YouTubers living together. I think there's running jokes that surface from time to time about all of the Minecraft network getting together and renting a house somewhere, buying out a giant house and all living together. And that would be really awkward, right? Do you feel really self-conscious? Some of them would. I know for a fact, right? This should be known. I think this is known. I follow Kurt J. Mack. I feel pretty confident declaring he would feel super awkward and self-conscious if there was someone else in the house while he was recording. And you can even, I feel like you can even see it in the big collab things that he's done, like when he did the Minecraft marathon recently. You can kind of tell that he gets into his groove, does his thing, but he's also not super big on being his Kurt J. Mack self in a room full of people. It's kind of interesting. But so yeah, I would feel really awkward, and my roommate would feel really awkward doing videos with other people there. I guess it'd be different if we were collabing. If we were both on the same video, working together on it, that would be totally different. Right? Because then you're working together on the thing, and that's its own game. Man, I really need to get my glasses replaced. I'm gonna go in. That's what I'll do today. I'll look into that. See what it'll cost. What I can do about that. Because these are killing me. I think they're actually making me sick. My glasses. I don't know if I've discussed this. My glasses are slightly broken, so they don't sit on my face properly. They just kind of slide down, and there isn't really a place they can set where they actually direct the light correctly, because the little nose posts are broken. So they should sit up and slightly forward, but I can't. There's no way to make them do that without just manually holding them there, and that doesn't work because they shake all over, and that just makes me sick. Not actually a yawn, just me holding my mouth wide open. Whee! Woo! Driving on the freeway. Driving 60 miles an hour the whole way home. That's pretty baller. I say it's a half an hour. It's really like 20 minutes home. That's about it. 'Cause that's about how long the recording is. And then I chop off the outside couple of minutes because I don't want them. There's... yeah. Scramble that. Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. There's quite a bit that I cut out of my drive because it's not interesting, or it's me not driving around on super public places. Like, the freeway is super public. I'm no problem with me recording the freeway, but like I've said, I drive around past some houses, and that's just, I feel like that's really weird. Or before I get to Yale there, it's like driving past a bunch of businesses, small parking lots, and it's like, that's a little weird. What else? What else? Whatever did? Whatever did? Sometimes I'll sit around, and I wouldn't really call it beatboxing, but it's sort of like that. And then I think I should learn how to make that be a thing, and then I can be a producer, and it'd be super cool. And then I try and recreate it, and it's really clumsy and awkward and doesn't sound very good at all. Even if I get all the sounds, I can't get them in the right order. And then I think, what if I record it? Well, anytime I've got a recording on, I feel self-conscious, and so I don't do it very well. Stuff. And then I make weird faces at a camera, which is probably kind of like uncomfortable and bizarre. This was really tired. I've been a long week. It's been a long, tiring week. It's Friday, so I can sleep in tomorrow, maybe, probably. I usually sleep in on a Friday, which would be good because this week has been killer. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it was a really stressful week and I didn't even think about it. But now that it's over, I can look back and realize that it was really stressful. And I didn't get done the stuff I was supposed to get done. I got done a lot of things, but I didn't get done everything. Maybe that's all it is. Just a long and fairly trying week. And now that it's over, my body goes, okay, you can feel stressed about it now. Well, maybe that's what it is. All that stress being not have to held in the face, no canteen. Yeah, those were words. They don't go in that order, but they were words. You know what? I will take a break here and maybe come back at you in a slightly more coherent fashion. And let's see if we can't finish out strong on this one. Somewhere over the rainbow blue, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I totally did not do the spinning video that I said I was gonna do for the obvious reason. Maybe it's not obvious. for the reason I quoted. I have an excuse this time. My roommate was home, and like I said, that's like super awkward. So rather than do that, I chatted with him about nothing much and had a bite of soup. He made some egg drop soup, and it was quite delicious. It had egg in it. It literally has egg in it. That's part of how you make an egg drop soup, is that you drop egg into it. I know. Revolutionary stuff here, but we like to live on the edge on this channel, and that's how it goes. I don't know if that song is like sufficiently copyrighted that I can't do that, but we'll see. Maybe I'll get flagged. Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't care because I don't monetize. I used to, when I had a really long day at work and I was feeling really stressed out, I would sing that song to myself. It was not the case. I'm actually feeling a lot more energized and focused than I was when I signed off a moment ago. It's just, that's the first song that comes to mind when I think about singing something random and a cappella. So it's not really random, but when I think about singing some song a cappella, that's the first one that comes to mind. I don't have any other particularly good ones that I can think of off the top of my head that are just there. Yeah, it's about the only one. I don't know. I have a really hard time not singing Bridge Over Troubled Water whenever it plays. Questionable choices. Not Bridge Over Troubled Water. I'm never going to question that choice. No, I kind of sped up for a yellow, which isn't really the best thing to do. I wonder if having this camera rolling and this recording going will impact my driving habits. Like, am I going to be a better driver for it because I'll be paying attention because I know people are watching me? Or am I going to be a worse driver because I'm distracted because I'm talking about stuff? Is this canted? This is canted. I mean, I could. Could I? Can I? I can't. I decant? I discant. I descant. Descants are for sopranos. Oh, look at me. I'm a soprano. You had to be there. I did choir in high school. Yeah, way back in high school, I was in the choir, and it was so much fun. It actually was. It was a lot of fun. I do enjoy singing. Do you do any other arts? I can play like 4 chords on a baritone ukulele. Yeah, so that's a thing I can do, is play like 4 chords on a ukulele, which, you know, if they were the right 4, that'd be all you need, and they actually are. What is it, like a G, A minor, C, D, and a D7. Is that a D7? Maybe that's just something. I don't know enough music theory to be able to tell you what they mean, but I can play those. I can play that D and that G and the A minor and the C. That pretty much covers it. Like, you can get pretty far. Just That turned into banjo pretty quickly there. I can't play the banjo. That's some skill. It's a picking instrument, and picking instruments take a lot more skill than chord strumming. I don't consider myself particularly musically inclined. And maybe it's a not with that attitude kind of situation where if I consider myself not very musically inclined, then I'm not particularly inclined to try very hard. And so I end up not doing very well. I'm a pretty firm believer in the idea that effort goes a long way. Though, you know, there is plenty of evidence that talent is a meaningful thing. And that, I use talent and skill in specific ways where a talent is an inborn ability or an innate measurement of ability, whereas a skill is learned or is a measurement of learned ability. So if you are talented, it means that you just picked up a thing and you went with it, and that's where you are. If you are skilled, it means you worked at a thing and developed the abilities you have, and that's where you are. And while I tend to, what's the right word? I value skill higher than talent. It might actually be the case that out here in the real world, yeah, go ahead. It might, in the real world, talent takes you further because it's less hard work, or maybe there's just a raw element of if you're not talented at a thing, then you're not talented at a thing. I don't know. I know the prevailing wisdom is that if you try hard, you can do anything, but it is possible that there is a degree of talent-based restriction on that, so that some people are simply better at some things than other people are. Well, this didn't get nearly as silly as I would have liked, but it went well, so I'll see you next time. Have a great night.